preceded by the oath. And there's no one to take the oath.
Chair, I did not even say tabling, but maybe checking from the
Chair,
Yes. Senator Sifuna?
First of all, I have to confess that the Speaker is a friend of mine, but I have to register my disappointment this morning by the conduct of disappearing before the proceedings began. This, to me, I will take the line of argument that has been taken by my colleagues, that in fact there is no entity before us. We treat it as a case of non-appearance, and you proceed to make a decision based on the law. But this cannot continue because there are important conversations to be had here in this committee, and especially about how we are running our affairs in Nairobi. The Assembly is a corollary of the Senate. We are partners in oversight, and we have had assemblies complaining that chief executives don't show up before their committees. So the Assembly cannot also be practicing similar things when we want to have a conversation in the Senate and the Speaker doesn't show up. It doesn't paint a very good picture. So as the area senator, let me just register my disappointment to the team. And it is compounded by the fact that he was within the precincts of Parliament but chose to leave. No communication was had to the chair or any one of us as to whether there was an emergency or anything. So unfortunately, to my friends from the Assembly, we can't see you, although we know you. But for me, there's no one there legally, and you will forgive us for that. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, any other enrichment of the submissions that have been made? This is a no-show, because if the leader of the institution is not present, then everyone else becomes a stranger. But I just wonder, if you don't take this matter seriously, how do you expect the county executive to take you seriously? And I'm not addressing the strangers now. I'm addressing the county assembly of Nairobi, because technically this is a no-show. How would you demand Governor Sakaja or any of the CECs or CEOs to appear before the county assembly of Nairobi if yourselves you cannot submit to the Senate? Appearance at the Senate is not prefecting the county assembly. It is not micromanaging the county assembly. The Constitution defines county governments as comprising of the county assembly and the county executive. And I believe the framers of our Constitution were deliberate to define the county assembly first before the county executive. And so it cannot be that the governor of Nairobi can sit on that chair and answer questions for 3, 4, 5 hours, but the county assembly of Nairobi, which gets 2 billion Kenya shillings that comes through the appropriations by the Senate, decides not to appear before this committee. I have not seen contempt of this level. And I've sat on this chair from the 11th Parliament. To date, I have not seen contempt of this magnitude. And I'm very disappointed that it is coming from our biggest county assembly by population, biggest by budget, and biggest by economic importance. Honourable members, this cannot be acceptable. And I think that the highest consequences should be pronounced on the head of the institution. He must take personal responsibility for this contempt. This contempt must be purged. And it can only be purged through fines or through summons to compel the appearance. Because if we were to leave it open, that we set another date, he might decide to do the same thing. So, honourable members, in my mind, this is one situation as unprecedented as it is. It is a situation that requires perhaps the heaviest application of consequences that is available to us. A fine, a summon, and if this continues, advise the Inspector General to find the Speaker and present him before this House. It is not our nature as a Senate to have an antagonistic conversation with the County Assembly, because we believe that the power we have is similar to the power you have. County assemblies are suffering from low self-esteem. you have the same powers that are available to the Senate. And if we have similar powers, then we must work in a complementary manner, rather than in a manner where we look like we are competing or whether we look like we are fighting each other. So this is extremely disappointing. One, the Speaker has not appeared. He has chosen to do other things rather than to appear before the Senate. We already have information from the Office of the Auditor General that even the responses that we were supposed to deal with were sent to the Auditor General at 7 p.m. last night. That further underscores the casual manner in which Nairobi County Assembly is approaching this particular matter. Let me not preempt, because that consideration of the readiness of the Auditor General could only be made if we had an appearance before us. There is no appearance. So we may summon the Speaker of Nairobi County Assembly, first of all, to explain why he's not here. And if that explanation is not satisfactory, this committee can impose upon him that fine that is prescribed in law. I don't know whether there is any other directive or any other direction we can take with this matter, except expressing grave disappointment, reprimanding the head of the County Assembly Service Board, reminding the County Assembly that you have a duty and your powers similar to what the Senate has. But we are extremely disappointed. We are extremely disappointed that this level of casualness, the county executive of Nairobi might copy it, and no one will ever appear before you. We have gotten very good jurisprudence from the County Assembly of Nairobi. In fact, the determination that constitutional timelines are not suggestions, that they're mandatory, arose from a matter that was before the County Assembly of Nairobi. And we thought that this would be an opportunity to build on that jurisprudence. I have had informally requests by the County Assembly of Nairobi for raising of budget ceilings. And I think in the past financial year, Senator Sifuna, you may have facilitated that conversation. And they got an additional 200 million. So when it comes to accounting, that is where you draw the line. We must also draw a line. And I think we may go back to the Finance Committee and explain to them the kind of contempt we are getting from the County Assembly, even after we have gone over and above to give them additional resources. Perhaps we might need to review or revisit those limits, because maybe those are the things that are financing the impunity we are seeing in Nairobi County Assembly. So, unless there is any observation, now, Auditor General, just, I know this is going ahead, but just explain to us what the situation is with regards to even these written responses.
Chairman.
I just wanted them, now that we have expressed our disappointment and we are imposing the highest, but they also need to learn. We are addressing the County Assembly of Nairobi globally. They are not here, but we are now addressing them through public media.
Chair,
They are not here.
there's a ruling you gave earlier, Chair, with all due respect. But these are no show.
These are no show.
They're no show. They are not here. And Chair, I want you to just think briefly about what the Speaker has done to you and to your committee. He's just come in, realize that the committee is taking time to deliberate on other things. He doesn't even know what we are discussing. And he feels like we are wasting his time, and he walks away. Chair, at that point, just down your tools and that's it.
Fine, let me stand down the Auditor General. But the fact is that in the last couple of minutes, we have been going through the detailed report of the Auditor General on Nairobi County Assembly. We have received a brief. And that brief, if you were to go into it, I think we'd be having serious problems with the County Assembly of Nairobi. because that the responses were sent to the Auditor General at 7 p.m. last night. A lot of issues have remained unaddressed. And I think almost 60% of the issues were marked to be referred to the EACC. But we will deal with that on a day when the Speaker makes an appearance. Honorable members, so we shall issue summons to compel the appearance of the Speaker of Nairobi City County Assembly. The Speaker will explain to this committee why he chose to pull the contempt card against Senate, an institution that has continuously supported the County Assembly of Nairobi, with the recent example of an additional 200 million that this Senate granted the Nairobi City County Assembly. I hope he will come with a compelling reason why we should not fine him and why we should not impose the highest sanctions against Nairobi City County Assembly. Administratively, we will work on the dates, but it will be at the earliest possible opportunity that the Speaker must appear before the Senate, and that will determine the course of action for the next activities. And I hope the Speaker is not trying to play games that by not coming, then the year will end, and then now he'll be discharged of a constitutional responsibility of appearing. That won't work. We are following up on implementation of recommendations. That was not time-bound. What was time-bound was a review of the audit report, and that we already achieved by 31st of March. So if there's someone advising the Speaker that you can dodge the Senate, and then when it gets to 31st of December, he will not have to appear, then that person is giving the Speaker wrong advice. So unless there's any other matter to add, this is a no-show, and summons will be issued to compel Nairobi City County Assembly to appear. Any other business?